Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today I'm going to be answering part 2 of your political questions. Now, if you're new here, welcome. Grab a seat. Crash helmets are over there. Life vests are over there. It can sometimes get a little rocky around here because I am your tour guide to bad Disneyland. If you guys don't watch my spiritual videos, which is literally the alter ego of myself, I often call this place bad Disneyland. Why? Well, because it's effed up, you guys. It's really a messed up planet. What were we thinking? Check your tickets next time. Rated 2 stars. Okay, let's go. We're going to start with Marilyn Monroe. I love Marilyn Monroe. I just love your name. Maybe you're reincarnated. Your question is Biden aware that Putin is in dire health condition? Well, first of all, I would like to say I have in the past many years not been on the bandwagon of Putin is dying. I think he hasn't had good health. I don't think he's robust. I think he's dealing with a serious health condition. However, I haven't thought he was on the deathbed until just recently. My last video, I did see him having a heart event. Like, boom, I'm down. I'm man down, you know. I do think he's still alive. I also think they're keeping him alive. The guides are telling me for assurances. I'm seeing somebody like the Kadarovs, the militias. I'm seeing the militias. I mean, look, we can't just have this guy, a dictator, an authoritarian figure, keel over dead and not have a plan, right? So people are trying to make a plan. But your question is Biden aware? And what's funny is when I ask that question, I literally see Biden with a voodoo doll. I kid you not, with a voodoo doll sticking pins in it. Now, you got to know, Biden has a sense of humor. He really does have a really robust sense of humor. And I'm telling you, I'm remote viewing this. So I'm pretty sure somebody gave him a voodoo doll with perhaps the likeness of Trump and perhaps the likeness of Putin, because these are the two fellas that have been the biggest thorns in his backside. And frankly, the biggest thorns to the backside of the United States of America and our democracy. So I really do think on occasion he takes it out and sticks pins in it. I'm not kidding you. I see it. I'm remote viewing. I see it. Now, somebody, if you're watching this video, anybody in the White House, go into the Situation Room and take the damn doll from him, because we all know this has effects. Because I have something to admit to you, during the reign of the first terror of G.W. Bush, I did get a voodoo doll from New Orleans. You know, you got to go to the source if you want to do the thing. I'm telling you, I'm the one with my voodoo doll that got GW out. Okay, thank you. Anyway, well, that and term limits. There is karma. So I don't know if Biden is playing, thinking this is some kind of like Hasbro game. But it's a lot. The guides are saying it's a lot like the Ouija board. Oh, you think that's a game? You think that's a game? Okay, we're going to sit back and see what happens next. We're going to have to bail you out of, because you done opened a portal in your living room, you know, when you were 10. So I'm just saying, Biden, put the damn doll down. Okay, but go ahead and stick him one more time before you do. So yes, he's aware. He's aware. The man is aware. This is something the guides have always said. This president has more intel than any other president that we've ever had, except for who? Roosevelt might have had more intel. Why, you might ask, would Biden have more intel than, say, Obama or Clinton or even Trump, who had a lot of intel on the open market? All I can say is that some presidents understand the value of intel, work more closely with the intelligence community, meaning they have breakfast with them, they have lunch with them, they have dinner with them. And that would be a Scorpio president who knows how to dive deep and come back out smelling like a daisy. That's a Scorpio. And that's what he does. He has the most intense, the most just symbiotic relationship with the intelligence community. So yeah, he knows everything. The man knows everything. And I think also the guides are telling me that, sometimes they can't tell presidents things. Like either a president isn't interested, like famously G.W. Bush didn't ever want to be briefed. We're not sure that Trump can even read. So I'm not sure how maybe they spelled it out using like alphabet soup or something. I don't know. Maybe they used ketchup and wrote a message on his Big Mac. I don't know how they communicated to Trump, but I'm just saying sometimes the intelligence community kind of eyeballs a president and goes, yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to have to go to plan B. Well, Biden is sharp as a tack and he goes toe to toe. Now, don't forget, he's been in the Senate, well, since the dinosaurs roamed the earth, but also he was a vice president. So he knows how this stuff goes down. He's made friends in the intelligence community that have lasted decades. The man knows more than you think he does. I have said this many, many times. Don't underestimate Grandpa. Okay, let's move on. Staley. Staley says, longtime viewer, awesome. First time asking a question, even more awesome. All right, my question is about the whistleblower, Jonathan Buma, I think. Buma. I do not know, y'all. The guides are not assisting me with the pronunciation of this name. Whose house was raided by the FBI looking for sensitive documents? Is this a retaliation or something else? So this guy is a whistleblower, okay? He's a whistleblower. He should have whistleblower status, which means the guides are saying he should be given the benefit of the doubt under whistleblower status. But also, when I talk to the guides, and they're pithy this morning, as you can see, they're saying to me, there's more to this story than you know, for entertainment purposes only, because when I'm about to say some kind of truth bomb that might get my butt in trouble, I always have to bust out with that. There's more to this than you would know. There's money involved. There's payments involved. Can you be a paid whistleblower? It's like the Republicans said, oh, damn, these whistleblowers are putting a crimp in our action. How do we deal with this? And they said, hey, we'll buy some. That's their answer to everything, right? We'll buy some whistleblowers. We can buy anything. We got money. I believe there's more to this. I think Mr. Jonathan has a long story. I think the word that I'm hearing is he's going to be discredited. Now, I have to admit, the Susan version or the Susan part of this collaboration, because I'm channeling my spirit guides right now, was like, oh, hell no, they're messing with whistleblowers. What's going on? It's very confusing, right? It's very confusing these days to know who's the good people and who's the bad people. It's all confusing. That's for a reason, you guys. They're trying to confuse us. That is the name of the game. The Republicans are trying to confuse us. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the good guys look like bad guys. So we don't know how to, what's the word? Everybody say it with me. I did a video last Wednesday on my Way Out Wednesdays videos. Discernment. Watch that video if you want to know how to discern if your coworker is really a jackass. Okay, now, so here's the thing. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Mr. Jonathan, although I think they just told me he's going to turn state witness. Honestly, this is probably going to take 2 or 3 years to wind through the courts, but I think enough information is going to come out that logical sort of political reporters are going to scratch their heads and say, not sure about this. They're actually even showing me Menendez, the Democrat Menendez, like good guys doing bad things, bad guys doing good things. What's up? What's down? This is supposed to disenfranchise the voters. This is supposed to make room for the new party called No Labels, who are going to come out and say the Republicans are bad. And you're going to be like, yeah. And they're going to say the Democrats are just as bad. And you're going to be like, what? And then they're going to bring you, this whistleblower, Menendez, and different things. And they're going to obfuscate the whole thing, smoke it up, fog it up, make you confused. And you know what that's going to do? You're not going to be able to force yourself to go vote for No Labels. So you're just going to stay home. That, my friends, is what this is about. Let's move on. Your YouTube name 7819 says, Biden seems to be perkier lately. Maybe he's on new vitamins. I don't know what you're saying. Is it just better media spotlight, or has something changed for him? Well, I feel like he's made a decision. I mean, what's happened is he's made a decision. He was on the fence. I think for a long time he was on the fence. Like, I'm going to try to be the statesman. I'm going to try to go across the aisle, the way he did when he was in the Senate. I'm going to try to bring us all together. Kumbaya. I know we can do it. I learned from Obama. We're all going to sit down and have a beer, or we're all going to hold hands, or whatever the hell. I don't know what these people do, because I don't believe in that shit. But anyway, he's like, okay, that didn't work. Plan B. So now what he's doing is being more forceful. He's being more authentic. He's basically just saying, and the guides are reminding me, they said this before. He's basically just saying, F it. Right? Like, I'm president right now. The world is on fire right now. Bad Disneyland ticket sales are down. I need to do something. So he's doing something. He's really taking this energy of, it's either going to work or it's not going to work. Either I'm going to win or I'm not going to win in 24. But I know right now I have to do the best thing for the American people. And that's what he's doing. And that's given him energy. When you stand in your power and you finally make an effing decision, and you stop waffling and you stop trying to please everybody. When you stop trying to please everybody, you make a decision and you feel good. You feel like you have purpose. That is what he's doing right now. He feels like he has purpose, but I'm not going to discount, some vitamins. Let's move on. And also, I think he's got good news from China, good news from Putin going down. I mean, I think he's perkier because there's good news. China has done an about face. They're like, oh, we like America. We want to work with you. That Russia thing, that was a fling. That was a fling. I broke up with them. That man is a loser and a skank. I love you, USA. So that's why also he's feeling better. He's getting some good news that maybe the American people aren't hearing yet, but Biden is hearing it because, again, go back to question 1. He is big in intelligence. All right, let's move on. Okay, I just answered your second question. The spirit guides must have queued it up for me because your question is the same thing I just asked. I just asked them about Biden and Xi, and I just answered it, and it's from the same poster. So you can't make this shit up, people. Okay, let's move on. Sandra Smith wants to know, is Jamie Harrison, this is more, we're getting in the weeds, DNC, Democratic National Committee, I think, is he an honest with donations? Because he doesn't seem to be helping the running Dems with their TV ads or billboards. So the question is, what's Jamie Harrison's game? Is he really being true? I don't know how nefarious you want to think this man is doing. I mean, I don't think you're suggesting he's being paid off by the Republicans, but I think that you're suggesting that maybe he's not doing enough, right? What you're saying is he being honest. I mean, that's a pretty bold accusation, I think, there. And let's look at it. The guides are saying, well, okay, all right, I don't know who's in the house today, but they just called him inept. They just called him inept. The answer to your question is Jamie Harrison is inept. I think what they mean is that this is the problem with having a party full of dinosaurs, right? Yeah, they have a lot of experience. That's the truth. However, experience doesn't get you anything when you don't know how Instagram works. If somebody could tell me how Instagram works, I'd appreciate that because I'm having some problems. But anyway, that's the truth. It's like Jamie Harrison, what they're saying, he's inept in the sense that he doesn't understand 2023. He doesn't understand Gen Z or the Zoomers or even the millennials. He doesn't get it. It's a whole new brave world out there, and he's disconnected. And the Democratic Party cannot afford to be disconnected because these kids are really the engine. They're the engine of the Democratic Party. They're the power source. The engine in your car is underneath the hood. You don't notice it. You're looking at the leather seats and the moonroof and the dice on the mirror. But the engine is the thing moving it. These younger people are the engine, and Jamie Harrison doesn't understand that. And therefore, he's not disseminating. He's just not supporting He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's inept. It's true. Okay. I'm sorry, Jamie, if you're watching. Please don't take it personally. Or if you do, 1-800-SPIRIT Guides. Press 1 for complaints because it ain't me. It's them. Tammy Walker says, could you look at the Univision's decision to give Trump a 1-hour softball interview when they were supposed to be interviewing Biden and then just canceled the interview completely? Now, this is Univision. This is supposed to be the top Hispanic watching channel in the United States. Univision is huge. It's a huge media empower. So what I get, and again, this is for entertainment purposes only because you know something about to come out, is that it was a big check, a great big check with a lot of zeros, like 6, 8, I don't know how many, zeros. This is zeros. Okay. They got paid off. That's what I hear. And maybe allegedly they got paid off. Let's change it to that. And that's what happened. And the Hispanic community as a whole is not really behind Biden. I think they might be up for grabs. I think this was a money decision. They're looking at their base and they're saying Biden's not playing well with us, with our viewers. They like Trump. They like Trump in the sense that, and I hope this isn't insensitive, but I'm just seeing Mexican wrestlers. Have you ever watched Mexican wrestling? Because it's awesome. It's a whole culture. It's an entire culture in and of itself. And they're saying Trump is like a Mexican wrestler. He's all bravado, or maybe a U.S. wrestler. I don't know, but he's all bravado and rah, rah, he's all fake. He's fake, but he's entertaining. Maybe if you can see him as not a threat, but as an entertainer. And I think, honestly, some Republicans like that. I mean, they want to blow it all up. They think this isn't working. They're all about blowing it all up. It's not like they think Trump is brilliant. It's not like they think Trump is going to be a great president. They know Trump is going to blow it all up, and that's entertaining. And so that's what I'm getting. But I'm also getting there was a lot of money involved, either from the viewership. They knew this was their man, or somebody gave them a largesse. Just that word they used twice in 2 videos of money, a largesse. Okay, I'm going to move on. Mary Louise says, in the past, 45 has said, if Republicans won't remain loyal to him, he may split off and start his own party if he is not chosen as the Republican nominee for 2024. Will he run as an independent? I think this is a fascinating question, Mary Louise, because that would be good. That would help me with the timeline that I see. I see the Republicans splitting. I see them infighting. I mean, everybody can see that. If you've got 2 eyes and 2 ears and you're on social media or whatever, you can see that. My last video, we talked about allegedly McCarthy elbowing another House member. And we talked about a senator challenging Teamsters president to a boxing match for charity. So yeah, they're falling apart. If this happens, then you can just understand that this means that it's over, that the Republican Party is going to try to gather what's left of themselves up and hobble towards saving their own seats. It's no more about winning the presidency. It's no more about winning the Senate, winning the House. It's not about that. It's about saving their own seats. If they disenfranchise Trump, then it's on. What that also means is the Democrats are going to walk away with the win. They're going to walk away with the win, which I already see. I just don't know how we're going to get there. There's many different paths, different roads that all go to the same place. It's going to be interesting to see how we get there. But yes, I think he could run independent, but it would require the Republicans to grow a pair of ovaries or chi-chis, cojones, a pair of something, a pair of something, and stand up to this man. But I think it's possible. I think it's really possible. And I think it's going to make me feel a lot better if it happens, because it's going to help me understand the timeline is coming into focus. Let's just say that. Okay. And Deanna Carpenter says, do we know what happened with the Secret Service text and phones yet? Is Jack Smith on to this? Deanna, yes, we do know what we absolutely know. They're showing me that everybody knows what happened to it. There's, higher ups in the Secret Service that know what happened. Also, Jack Smith is onto this, but unfortunately, they're telling me that those. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, right. Right. I forgot that some of those texts got erased. Remember that the Secret Service said, oh, oops, we had to update our software, updated and deleted all of our stuff. Whoopsie daisy, so some of them are gone. However, the ones that they do have a lot of emails, they do have some texts, and they do have some phones. And there was forensics, they're telling me now, done on the phones to uncover some encrypted. Apparently there was, and this is news, this is breaking news, there was some encrypted folders on the phone. So some of these yahoos, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but they wanted to cover their own behinds. So those texts that they were getting about Jan 6, on Jan 6, or whatever they might have been about, that were being shared, and they knew, these Secret Service people knew, I can't not act like I'm in this because I'll be, railroaded. I mean, this was a mob mentality. You got threatened. You're either it's just like bad cops. You're either with us or you're against us. If you're against us, we're going to plant something on you and have you arrested, right? So these people knew that they were operating in a illegal situation. So they took the text and they put them in a folder, and they encrypted the folder and hid the folder on their phone. Okay. So when those texts were removed by the software update, guess what? They still had them in this encrypted folder as a get out of jail free card in case something went down. They knew they had something that could prove that they weren't involved or that somebody else was involved. Okay. So what I'm learning is that the Secret Service, not the Secret Service, the FBI, I believe this is the FBI, did a forensic, breakdown on this phone, found a folder, if not more than one, on different phones, and they have this information. Now, the thing that I don't want to tell you is that some of this stuff was deemed top secret. Some of it was deemed secret. So you would have to be in a skiff, you'd have to be in, you would have to have a special designation to be able to view this information. But not only that, that's when the intelligence community comes around and says, yeah, this is effed up. And yeah, these people broke the laws and maybe even participated in a coup, but we're going to quash it. We're going to quash it. Now, I know this makes y'all mad. It makes me mad, but you have to understand, this is their reasoning. I'm going to give you their reasoning. You can, do whatever you want with it. Throw it in the trash. I don't care. Their reasoning is America cannot look weak. America cannot look like our own specially trained, highly vetted Secret Service members that do nothing but protect our president, our vice president. We're in on a coup. I'm sorry. The public cannot know that. I just see somebody holding it and saying, I'm sorry, this is inadmissible. We're quashing it. We're making it go away. Look, the CIA does this for a living. They make things go away. People, situations, things that they've done, they make it go away. So this is what's happening. I don't think you're going to see this be a big deal. You might see something small, like they have to give the public something, because if they give us, here's this Secret Service text that's very innocuous. It's very vanilla. It's very vanilla, but at least it's something. It's kind of like feed the lion something, and maybe it'll not be hungry and it'll go away. But I think the majority of the stuff that happened, we're not going to know about it. The thing that I would like to ask the benevolent spirit guides of these CIA, FBI people is to, at least, if you're going to quash something, at least put some kind of guardrails, internally, so that this doesn't happen again. That's the very least you can do, in my opinion. Okay, let's move on. Flower Power says, will all of the constant news coverage of the GOP circus show help the Democrats or hurt them by causing such a distraction? Also, what do you see for the shaman's run for Congress in Arizona? Okay, the first part of your question, I think I answered above with the obfuscation and the smokescreen. And the second part of your question is, are you kidding me? Are you for real kidding me? The shaman is running for Congress in Arizona. God, bad Disneyland. Damn. What's going to happen? All right, let me just get my wits about myself and answer the question. Nothing. That he's not going to win, but he is a circus act. He's a distraction. And he will get votes because, again, there's a certain segment of the population that just wants to shut everything down, that wants to blow everything up. It's sort of like, this is all broken. We're not getting our way. So I'm going to take the game board with all the pieces on it, with everybody that's done bought Park Place. I'm going to throw that board in the air so nobody going to get Park Place. If I don't get it, you don't get it. So this is the energy behind the Republicans right now. If I don't get it, nobody gets it. We're going to burn this puppy down. That's what Shaman's run represents, is this no confidence vote, the guides are saying. But I don't see him being I don't see him in the final results being a big deal, but he is going to be a big deal because, well, this is news, folks. The shaman is running in Arizona. You're going to see it. You're going to hear it. You're going to get sick of seeing it and hearing it. But that's news. It's meant to be newsworthy. It's BS. Okay, I'm going to move on. A couple of more questions. YouTube name, you have 5,000 questions in here, and they're all separate, where you just like, and another thing, and another thing. My God, was you drinking coffee? Espresso? What happened? Okay, let's see if you got another question. Your other question, and I already skipped over 2 of your questions. Okay, YouTube name. All right, I see you. Okay, you're telling me that people are really comfortable about talking to the media about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Isn't that her name? You're calling her SHS. I think it's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. The podium company, the dinner, she claims she spent $50,000 in one night. The employees writing very clearly in emails how they were told to mess with the documents, knowing their emails would be seen, etc. So your question is, what is the spirit of that? Is it emblematic of a wider American turn against corruption? Or is it just a particular annoyance with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, famously spoiled brat all her life? Why are so many people tearing into her publicly? I think it is a bigger change of energy, especially as we go into 24. And I'm not an astrologer. I do not play one on YouTube. So this information is questionable. But I do know that the United States has a birth chart. It has an astrological birth chart. And I do know that astrologically, the United States is going into a new set of planetary influences in January and throughout next year, where, let's just call it, we ain't taking no shit no more. That's my astrological breakdown. That's a very specific astrological term, but that's what it is. It's like we're waking up. The guides are telling me it's like when you pull the something from your eyes and you can see, like, wow, this is really messed up. We got to fix this. This is not going to work. We don't want to live like this. This doesn't represent us. We want a better democracy. We want one that works for everybody. So that's what I think it is. Yes, I think it's a wider acceptance of this is effed up and we're going to make somebody pay. Okay. Let's see. Cat Rand. I don't know what your name is, but it's interesting. Okay. What strategy is Trump working on to get the presidency back? And what groups of people has he specifically chosen to work with him to that end? What strategy is he working on to get the presidency back? Well, right now, honestly, his strategy is, for the love of God, don't let me go to jail. This is when I go into his energy. He's literally he's having to double up his Depends diapers. Okay. Double up, maybe even triple. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you, this is a visual, and you should just thank me for having to see this. So you don't have to. Somebody is putting some sort of that tape they use in medical things where you can peel it back off, but they're having to tape the seams of the diaper to his skin to keep it inside the diaper, allegedly. Now, that is a health diagnosis, but it's also an energetic diagnosis. He's crapping his pants. So he's not the only reason why the guys are saying that he is running for president is because he thinks it's going to keep him out of jail, because it's his only hope. It is literally his only hope. He has three options. I'm going to put the third one in myself. The first option is run for president. Just run, because as you're running for president, it mucks up everything. Go back to question one. It obfuscates everything. People are like, well, I don't know. He's running for president. Should we be trying to indict him? How much of this is the Democrats just being partisan? It really mucks up everything. That's what he's trying to do. That's his option number one. His option number two is to flee. His option number two is to run. And he might try to run to Qatar. I don't know that he's going to get away with that, because I think that, and the guides are reminding me, they've told me this before, he does have Secret Service. People are like, well, his Secret Service will keep him from running. Well, yes and no. I mean, their job is to protect him, not to keep him from running. And I always see him going to Cuba. Like, it's a very short boat ride from Florida to Cuba, or a very short plane ride, or even the Dominican Republic. But I think Cuba, because I think he can get in and get out without having to stamp your passport. Sometimes Cuba allows people to come in. They don't stamp their passports because they come there from countries like the United States that it's illegal to visit Cuba. So Cuba just doesn't stamp your passport, and you go out and have the time of your life, with your $500 cigar, or whatever. I feel like the Secret Service, the thing that guides had reminded me was there are some Secret Service members that are wired up to the DOJ or the FBI. I mean, I think he has keepers. He has minders. Whether he knows that or not, I think he suspects, because he suspects everything. He's very paranoid. I don't think they're going to let him run. So his third option, and this is delivered by yours truly. Am I going to get in trouble for this? Probably. He can cross. He could punch his ticket and be like, I'm out. Cha-ching. Send the heavenly Uber. I'm out of here. That's his only options. So yeah, he's just running for president to save his ass, and he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it to president. It's just what he has to do to keep all the balls in the air that could potentially keep him out of prison. Okay. Thank you for your question. Let's do one more question, maybe two. Jeanne Hovar says, I'd like to know what's going on politically in the world. At the same time, the phrase, you tend to get more of what you focus on, makes me wonder if today's news and intuitive tarot readings is the best use of my time. Even as I get a lot of reassurance from them, would you comment on that? Well, first of all, Jean, no wonder I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Probably you trying to fire me right now. You trying to fire me. Okay, Jean, I thought we were on better terms, but I understand. It's cool. No, really, I agree with you. I literally have the same conversation with my spirit guides a lot. And I had this same conversation with them about a year ago. I said, look, this politics stuff is dragging my vibration down. It's ugly. It's yucky. I don't like it. It's not going to get any better anytime soon. This was a year ago. And can I get out? And they said, look, they're funny. Basically, they said, deal with it. Like, learn how to process the energy. Now, for you, Jean, look, on one hand, you want to know everything is going to be okay. You want to know if you need to get that visa. You want to know if you need to try to move to Mexico or something. I mean, on the other hand, you don't want to know. And I really believe ignorance is bliss. And I do believe that there are people who don't watch and don't care. And I hope that they care on election day. Like, if you don't care any other time of the year, but a week before election day, you get out your League of Women Voters, or you do your research and you say, all right, I'm going to vote. That is your civic duty. Please, everyone, we have to vote. Do you have to be embroiled in the politics every day? No, you do not. If it would make you feel better, what they're telling me for you and for most people is you're going to go through periods of energetic. Like you're going to go through a period where you're like, don't care. I don't need to know. It's all a shit show. Don't care. Don't care. And you're not going to tune in. Other times you're going to be like, I need to know. And then you're going to go to some trusted source that you like, and then you're going to check in. So it's up to you. That's why I like doing it the way I do it. That's why I do it the way I do it, where I channel my guide 60-40, because the guide said you need human. We need a human to connect to humans. And I like to be funny about it. I like to try to make it lighthearted because it's too heavy. So maybe it's like the Colbert, right? Go get your news with a dose of humor, and then it's not quite so bad. But yes, I would stay away from, really far away from war news, all that stuff. It doesn't help. You're not helping anybody by bringing your vibration down, by being sad because they're sad. Doesn't help them. It doesn't help you. You know, the guides always say, if a person is sad and suffering because they should be, because they're in a war, because they're in a particular situation, they're homeless, whatever it is, you're not supposed to crawl into the sadness with them. You're supposed to keep your vibration as much as you can, high. It's almost like you're holding their vibration for them. You're holding the light for them. So wherever they are suffering, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know who the light at the end of the tunnel is? You and me. Trying every day to keep our collective together so we can have a little light to shine out for those people that are in a position where they cannot keep their it together because they're in an oppressive situation. So that's why I'm not saying we all have to be light and happy all the time, because this is bad Disneyland. This is a 2-star situation right now, but you can affect your mood and regulate your mood and regulate your energy. And that's what they said at the beginning of this question. Regulate your energy, Susan. You don't have to go down into the depths with that bad energy. You don't have to do that. So that's what I would say. I hope that helps, Deanne. Shine your light, love yourself, take really good care of yourself. And you know what? With that, peace out. I'm going to end this video. I did it a little faster this time. If you're still watching, let me know what you think. I usually do much longer, more in-depth, deep dive video. Let me know if you noticed a difference. You're like, Susan, I noticed no difference. You went and talked forever. Or you noticed a difference. You're like, yeah, it was faster. I liked it. Let's do this. I want to hear what you have to think. What? Sometimes I get the translation wrong. I want to know what you have to say or what you're thinking about. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, take really good care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you real soon. For entertainment purposes only.